Well, here with me in studio now is Basel Chamali, an activist studying in the UK, who's from Homs. Basel, welcome to BBC World News. Must be a very difficult time to be living so far from home and watching what's happening in your country. What did you make of President Assad's speech? Did you hear anything that gave you cause for hope?
To be honest, not very much so, no. The speech was done in the Opera House in Damascus because it's sound isolated to help reduce the sound of the bombing going outside the Opera House a few kilometers away. And for us, that's all empty promises that he came out with. We've been hearing them since day one, telling us that there'll be discussion, that there'll be release of prisoners, that he'll let the media in. For the past 22 months, there hasn't been any media into the country, especially the media that has gone in, smuggled itself in, has been killed, especially since, like Marie Colvin. And any humanitarian organization, medical aid, has been stopped from entering the country. And many of the cities are under siege now, stopping any food or aid going in. So we listen to it, and it's just empty promises again and again for us.
You know what President Assad's supporters would say? They will say, well, look, the reason those things are happening is because the rebels began this war against the regime.
Well, to begin off with, it was peaceful demonstrations that started because the regime took children into prisons for writing anti-regime slogans and all. So when we came out at the beginning, we demanded for a discussion with the regime to give us more political and social freedom, but he refused and began firing. And at a certain point, the people have to think that they're not going to get anything out of peaceful demonstration, and they had to defend themselves against the tyranny.
I was talking to one young man a couple of days ago who, like you, is living in this country and in his case working in this country and talking to his parents on a regular basis back home. And what he sees now is people who aren't aligned to the government or the opposition, ordinary people who are becoming more and more frightened about what is going on around them. And the biggest thing that frightens them is not so much whether President Assad stays in power or whether the opposition takes control. It's the collapse of everything that they have been familiar with and the sense of security. It's very hard, isn't it, for the opposition to convince many ordinary Syrians that this is worth it?
Well, I think many Syrians would see it as worth it, especially the older generations who've gone through the 80s and have gone through the tyranny of his father, who've seen what he's done and what his father did when he finished with the revolution in the 80s. When that failed, he went after every single person who was against him and put them in jail. So for us, anyone who's had anything to do with the revolution has no way out except carrying on, because stopping now would mean...
But that's the problem, isn't it? There are people, as you say, have anything to do with the revolution. There's no way out for them unless they continue. For him, there's no way out unless he continues. And in that scenario, all you can see is further bloodshed until one side finally collapses.
Well, yeah, there is hope that at some point one side, hopefully us, would come out victorious of this. But in the meantime, all we could see is that he's aiming to carry on to kill and hold the civilians hostage for his own demands. For example, if he had any hope of bringing people to his side, he would release the siege on Homs, which has been under siege for over 215 days with no food or fuel or water going in. He refuses to let any humanitarian or medical aid in. So for us, from our side, we can't see him having any real terms of a discussion if he's going to carry on like that. So for us, we're hoping to bring the neutrals in the conflict to our side by proving that we're more interested in a peaceful settlement than he is.
Basel Chamali, thank you very much for talking to us about what must be a difficult thing for you to watch and listen to from so far away from home. Thanks very much.